welcome to the November 9th, 2015 meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Can I please have a motion and a second to accept the regular board minutes from October 26th, 2015?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Phyllis, second by Pat. All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing as there is no one signed in for public participation, the next item is I need a motion and a second to schedule a public hearing for the tax classification to be held on November 23rd, 2015 at 7:40.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Phyllis, second by Paul. All in favor of setting
Aye.
that?
Aye.
And for our first action item, I'm very happy to welcome Alicia Redden and Helper
Yes.
to the meeting to talk about our Veterans Day celebration that we'll have on Veterans Day, Wednesday, November 11th.
Yep. So our observances have actually already started. Last week we went to numerous elementary schools and we spoke to K-4 students, read some veteran-related books. So that was last week. Tomorrow we have the assemblies at the Galvin. I'll be speaking at both of those. And then we also have somebody going into the Dolbear to speak to the students there. It's very exciting. And then on Wednesday kicks off our official town-wide celebrations with the 11 a.m. ceremony at the Galvin, where we will have Jay Panett as our keynote speaker. After that, we'll host approximately an hour-long kind of coffee social for veterans and other folks that attend the ceremony, and that's been graciously donated by Honeydew Donuts, the head of the lake. After that, we'll come up to the Common, where we will have our 1:30 ceremony, which will be dedicating the first memorial for female service members here in Wakefield. So we're very excited. The tree will be marked. It's the headstone, the stone is already in, and the tree will be officially marked tomorrow, and then we will be covering the stone. So if anybody wants to see it, you have until about 10 a.m. tomorrow to get a glimpse before I cover it up for unveiling. So that will be our Wakefield observances, and then any additional requests we get from any schools to go in and kind of talk to kids as well.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Sounds great.
So I hope to see everyone there.
Any questions or comments for Alicia? Yes, Pat.
Well, I just want to say thank you for all your attention to the memorials in Veterans Memorial Park.
Thank you.
You know, it's nice to have someone who's that focused in on kind of making sure that not only they get maintained, but going forward that we're looking at this. I'm very keyed in on that Civil War memorial. It's something that needs attention, and just because there's no veterans left, they're long, long gone, but we should not forget. And you know, that was the bloodiest war in the history of the United States, and that memorial should be prominent in the park. It is prominent, but it needs attention.
It does.
It's our job to pay attention to that kind of thing, and thank you for paying as much attention. I hope some people out there in the audience, I know that there's people who have access to the GAR and some of the, whether there's funds available nationally or from the state, you know, and as well as for all the memorials. Like, certainly Phyllis put all that time and effort into the World War II Memorial, and look at what it's done for that whole park.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So.
Ideally, within the next 12 months, I'd like to see the World War I monument worked on, the one that's the large rock with the plaque. We already have some people on board for that. So that's my goal for the next 12 months. Right after Christmas, I intend on kind of diving into that. And then the last monument left on the Common that really needs TLC is going to be the Civil War. And since that's going to be by far the largest project we have, I thought that we would start that as soon as we wrap up kind of the minor restorations on the other monuments. We're still in desperate need of some other members of the Common Improvement kind of Memorial Committee that we had discussed a few months ago. So if anybody's interested, I could really use a hand. He's not qualified. He's just not very useful for research.
If you send out an email to the board,
Absolutely.
and let us know when the next meeting is, maybe we can drum up some support.
Well, so far I'm the only member, so I just kind of meet myself. I kind of just, think about it in my car on my way to work.
Yeah. But if you
so
send us an email
Absolutely.
and let us know some times you're thinking of meeting.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So I hope to see you all this week. Thank you so much for having me, and say bye. Okay.
That works.
Yeah. Blake's there.
Oh, we almost lost a car.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Moving to item number C, the community compact. We had talked about this several months ago, and Steve is going to present and refresh our memories on it.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. As you may recall, we spoke about this in the summer earlier this year, how in January, Governor Baker announced his community compact program. And basically what that is that the Baker administration is offering technical assistance to communities in areas of where they feel that they could work on best practices on. And there's many areas that it talks about. It talks about education, energy efficiency, financial management, regionalization, transportation. And the board, when we talked about the board, and I've since talked to some of you privately, the thought was really to focus on some of the areas that we really could use some technical assistance on, and some areas that are really priorities for us right now, because not only will it help us in moving forward in some areas, but will also, because we are part of the community compact program, get a little bit more prioritization in grants. And as you all may recall, Wakefield is not a mini entitlement community anymore. We are, I always say, we are not rich enough and we're not poor enough. So we don't really meet that demographics to get into the other area. So we have to get points in other ways. And we talk about getting grants is about getting points, is increasing your application. And we do that by regionalizing. We've got a lot of grants by regionalizing in other areas. So after talking about this at our meeting and talking with several of you in between meetings, I thought I'd come back and present 3 areas that I think that we can move forward on, because I know a lot of what you said is that, Steve, don't spread us too thin. Really go out there and hit some areas that we really should look into. So the first one was housing and economic development, how we partner with public and private sectors in order to advance our housing and economic goals. I'm thinking about a lot of things that we've done, and we're doing a lot of these pieces. We have adopted tax increment financing to try to encourage investment in Wakefield. We're looking at zoning changes. The town planner, planning board is working very hard to beef up the downtown. A lot of things that this board, Selectmen Denoco's committees are doing to really increase the downtown. And we can certainly use any state help that we can get on that. So I thought that was an area we would look at based on, again, what the board has talked about. The other item that we are looking at is that we do need to be competitive with our surrounding communities. And I think it is, to a certain extent, a zero-sum game. I mean, there are companies and businesses that they're gonna build a new building somewhere. They're gonna open up a new research and development company. And they're gonna look in this corridor. So how are we more competitive in attracting new businesses into town? And my feeling is that by attracting new businesses, we put more of the tax burden on the business community. We create jobs. We get people going down to our restaurants, bringing in more revenue, not just on the residential taxpayer. So those were the 2 areas I was thinking of applying for in the housing and economic development area. The third area really is part and parcel of a presentation that the chairman and I attended, as did Selectman Denoco, about the budget and really open data strategy. And what I think that this board has been great about, and we, believe me, you look at every line item of every budget and it's out there and everyone can come into the meetings and see about that. And I think that we need to be able to put that information out there on the website better, so people can actually look at it and see about it if they have questions. And there are some good programs out there that we can dovetail with our accounting and finance package and put that out there, and the state can certainly help with that. So those are the three areas that I think that we could work towards best practices on. Frankly, to pat the back of the board, I think on financial policies, we're already doing best practices. I think in regionalization, we always are. We always are, and that's because of what this board has done. But I think we do need assistance in these areas. We're doing a lot of it anyway. I think this will certainly help us, A, to get a little bit of technical assistance, and to B, hopefully, get a little bit more points for grants. So that's what I was thinking, and that was out in your package, Madam Chair.
Yes, Pat?
Steve, the one thing that you mentioned about the tax shift, while
Yeah.
I agree, I want to minimize the burden on the residents, for sure. But at the same time, if we're talking about being competitive in the commercial market, we have to come up with some type of TIF program to incent businesses to come to
Right,
Wakefield.
and we have that, and we're looking for businesses to come in, and we may have our first one coming into the downtown.
Are we promoting it?
We are promoting it, we're working with Mass Business Works on it, and things like that. We are also going to adopt a town meeting, I hope we're gonna adopt a town meeting, this board supported it, a research and development exemption for research and development companies coming in. So we are going in that direction. And I know, you've been saying that for years, Pat, so I agree.
Well, I just wish, I wish there was more emphasis on that, because yes, and I think I agree with you. This board has demonstrated a sensitivity to that, not placing tax burden on the residents. I just would like to see the same kind of energy go into because a big chunk of, the taxes get paid by the businesses, and I feel like they take it on the chin an awful lot. So any way we can help them?
Well, I think part of this is gonna help us with some technical assistance too, so, I agree.
Yes, Paul?
To go along with Pat, I do agree with him that the businesses do take it on the chin every year compared to the surrounding communities on what their tax rates are. If there's anything more that we can do, people always ask, is there any way of giving the businesses some sort of tax break outright? And I don't believe there's a way of that we can possibly do that. The only thing that we can do is on new development, correct, Steve?
Well, the TIFs would be on new development or redevelopment.
Right.
This board does vote on the tax shift, and we've always maintained that, shift for years. That's kind of historical here. The research and development tax exemption for personal property and research and development companies, that's a big start. And that may mean a company coming in and maybe saving, $10,000, $20,000 a year on taxes, and that, no one else has that in the area. So that's a competitive area where they're gonna come in and maybe there's gonna be, 100 people are gonna work on Audubon Road in a research and development business. Hey, those people go to lunch, they go to, and we get that, and it creates jobs in our area another way. So that's a competitive advantage that we're looking, so that is something that we're giving,
It's
or may
basically,
give.
people would look at it as a giveaway. I don't see it that way. It's kind of a lost leader, because
Right.
you hope that it's a 20-year relationship.
Right.
And over time, the town, benefits from that, and hopefully the business does too, so. Maybe there are some industry circles we could somehow work on getting our name, Wakefield, the proximity to Boston, the proximity to the highways, and
Yeah, that is exactly why we're working with Mass Business Works, and things like this, I think, will get us in that. And I think when you see the information that we're getting through the study that this board opted to fund for our business area downtown and our circles of where the business is coming from and how we can capture that, I think there's gonna be a lot of information out there, and a lot of direction, and I think this will all help us. So I do appreciate all the comments, Madam Chair.
thank you.
So I would like, you have in your packet, I would like the authority to go forward with those 3 areas.
I make a motion that we go forward with the community compact as presented by Stephen.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I need a motion and a second to accept the request from Sharon Gilly, Director of the Lucius Memorial Library, to accept and expend a gift to the library in the amount of $840 from various donors.
Second.
Moved by Paul, second by Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
There are correspondence in your packets from the Board of Health and some others. Any comments?
Oh, you mean going around the table?
Sure.
Do, with your 18. Trying to break that record. I'm gonna talk for 25 minutes just because of that. We're going around the table? Okay.
Yep, Phyllis.
All right, the first thing I want to do is thank Mark Sardella for that wonderful article that he wrote in the paper about Veterans Day. I hope everybody read it and that everybody will go. It was an excellent article, and it was, I really appreciate it. It was great. Secondly, in church on Saturday, somebody handed me a little note in church, and going out the door, somebody else stopped me about the Department of Public Works, the leaves, the removal of leaves. I don't think, I'm doing this because they're concerned that the leaves still aren't all down and that they don't have enough time to go to the pit. And evidently, first thing, they could go to town hall and get one of these, but there's plenty of time. The DPW, we still have plenty of time for the people not to be concerned about the leaves coming down. You can still go to the pit on Saturday, November, I'm doing this so that they'll know, Saturday, November 14th and Saturday, November 28th, from 8:30 to 4 p.m., okay? So, and also on December 1st. Then on Sundays, on November 15th, they can go to the pit from 11:45 to 4 p.m. And then on Wednesday, every Wednesday from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., the pit is open. So up until from April 15th to December 3rd. So if you people are listening, I told you to watch the Selectmen's meeting, and I would give you that information. There should be no concern about being able to go to the pit to drop off your leaves and pick up your leaves. And there's even a pickup on November 21st, if anybody has
Thank you.
leaves
Yep.
in the, on their property.
I was just
Okay?
gonna say that, Phyllis, yeah, there was one
Yes, this weekend.
this past weekend and one more.
Right.
Yeah, pick up
Yeah.
at your house, so as many bags as you can get out there.
Yeah. So anyway,
Excellent.
there should not be any trouble, no problem, plenty of time to go to the pit. Okay, that's it.
Excellent. Pat?
Nothing.
I'm gonna talk trash again this week and follow right along. You were just talking leaves, all right. But before I talk trash, food pantry, don't forget the food pantry, Thanksgiving is coming up. And you know, you don't have to bring food down there to foul up your schedule during the day. You can write a check and mail it to town hall, right, Steve? And then you can get it
We're
to the
happy to
food
do that.
pantry.
We're happy to do that, yep.
So the check would be made out to the Wakefield Interfaith Food Pantry. Now, I've got to control myself on this one. I really do. You know, I didn't vote for the automatic trash, but it lost, so big deal, you know, whatever. But there are rules to be followed, Steve. And there are people in this town that called me up, agreed with me, they didn't want it, but they're following the rules. It is amazing to me that one particular person that I know of, and there could be more, I don't really know, can't seem to understand that the rule should be followed, okay? And this scofflaw, one of my favorite words, Pat
Miscreant.
likes it too, and a miscreant,
Yep.
this person will not follow the rules. And I find that to be very arrogant, Steve. And much like a couple of other things that in my 12 years on this board I've gone after, I'm staying on this thing like a dog with a bone. I am done with it, all right? This person better follow the rules and not be exempt from the rules that other people are picking up the tab for in this town. You know, people will pay their taxes, they don't want to do it, but they do it. And why this person can skirt the law is beyond my comprehension, all right? And I'm not going to let go of it. I think I told you that in an email.
Yes, you did, and
In no
I have
uncertain
the
terms.
DPW looking at it as we speak, so.
I want to know how many blue barrels this should be there. There should be a dumpster there, I think. I want the numbers checked, i.e. the street numbers. Because there are people that had to put a dumpster in, and maybe they didn't want to do it, but they're doing it and they're paying for it. And this particular area and this particular situation, it shouldn't be exempt. And I don't know. I don't imagine anyone in this town would ever pick up a cell phone and call anybody and have them come back for a special trash pickup. I don't think that would
Right.
ever happen because no one would ever do that. I'm sure of that.
That shouldn't happen.
Oh, it shouldn't happen is right, okay? Because that's just the way it goes.
and I'm really trying to control myself in this, because I'm furious about this thing, and you know I am. And I won't let go, you know that. Other than that, the Friends of Lake Quantipout are having a breakfast on Sunday. I'm gonna try to get into something pleasant here. And that's the story. It's up at Bear Hill Country Club. Thank you.
I have to say, Betsy, that you're absolutely right. I know myself, I was just like you with about 5 families, and I have checked, so this must be something was an oversight, because we finally did get those people to put in their own trash. I mean, without,
Right.
no barrels, they had to
Right.
get a dumpster.
Well, Phyllis, we're like the Blues Brothers, because I'm on a mission from God, and I am gonna settle this thing right now, because we did vote against it. I
We
know
did.
we were the only two, but that's the way it goes. You win some, you lose some. I'm wild about it.
Well, if I may, it doesn't matter if you voted for it or if you voted against it. I voted for it.
Right.
Proud I did, and
Right.
I'm still glad I did. However, if someone doesn't want to abide,
Right.
then they have that's a different
Well,
matter.
like I said, I don't care,
It's
win, lose, or
like-
draw, you
And
know?
like you said, it's no different than any other violation you're breaking.
That's right.
So let's send him a letter, let's tell him cease and desist, and if he doesn't,
There should be consequences.
there'll be
You weren't-
consequences.
I'm just, I don't care that I lost the vote on that. That doesn't matter to me.
Not to
But
me
it's the
either.
rule now. It's the rule, so follow the damn rule.
That's right.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
Move to adjourn.
Second,
I already lost the 18.
second.
I know, I have no problem either. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I have one question. Sure. How many meetings do we have in December scheduled?
1,
One? Okay, that's all.
It's the 24th, isn't it?
December 24th. Yeah.
Madam Chair, I think there's a motion on the floor.
7:50.
There is.
Motion, please go to the Veterans Celebration on Wednesday, the 11th, at 11 o'clock. I think it's one of the best things our town does.
It's the best.
It is,
But
it's
if you
great.
haven't seen it, the music alone, when all the different members of the armed services stand, is one of the most moving things I've seen.
It's unbelievable.
It's a wonderful celebration, so please come. Is there a motion?
Yes.
Okay, Betsy, move to adjourn, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.